Peppa Pig and the Day of Giving Thanks. Peppa Pig and her brother George love going for walks with Mummy Pig and Daddy Pig. Today they are out among the trees and flowers and bugs and birds. Peppa is happy and thankful to be in this beautiful place.
Wow!
For Peppa and her family, it is a day for giving thanks.
I love the blue sky,
says Peppa.
Thank you, sky. I love the clouds floating in the sky,
she says.
They make pretty shapes. Thank you, clouds.
Peppa and George look for more things to thank on their walk. So does Daddy Pig. He looks up at a tall tree. Thank you, tree, he says. Peppa sees her favourite fruit.
Thank you, apples,
says Peppa.
It's nice to see you, turtle.
Peppa is thankful for the frogs, the fish, and especially the ducks. Look, George, says Mummy Pig, butterflies. George flaps his arms, just like the butterflies. George points.
Oh,
says Peppa. Then she says,
thank you, spider.
Ah! Cries Daddy Pig. He runs. He does not say thank you to the spider. There are so many things to be thankful for.
Hooray!
The flowers help the bees, says Mummy Pig.
And the bees give us honey,
says Peppa.
I love honey.
There are so many colourful leaves and pumpkins.
So pretty,
says Peppa. Peppa and George play in the leaves. Peppa feels something. Oh no! Rain, says Mummy Pig. Peppa doesn't want to get wet. She is not thankful for the rain.
Oh no!
Daddy Pig, Mummy Pig, Peppa and George wait under the trees. The water pours down. The ducks don't mind the rain at all. When the rain stops, they move on. But Peppa doesn't see the birds or butterflies or even the ducks. And the sky isn't blue. Where are the frogs and the turtles? Then, just ahead, Peppa sees something. She smiles.
Look!
The rain left a surprise for Peppa and George.
Thank you for the muddy puddle.
The end. Peppa Pig. Peppa visits the aquarium. This is Peppa's pet fish, Goldie.
Wow!
Every morning, Peppa gives Goldie breakfast.
Time to eat,
she says. Oh dear, Goldie is not eating.
What is wrong with Goldie?
Peppa asks.
She looks a bit sad,
says Mummy Pig.
Oh no!
I think she is lonely,
says Peppa.
She doesn't have any fish friends.
Maybe Goldie could visit the aquarium, says Daddy Pig.
What's an aquarium?
Peppa asks. It is a place with lots of fish, says Daddy Pig.
Oh, goody,
cries Peppa.
We can find a friend for Goldie there. Let's go.
Hooray!
Peppa and her family drive to the aquarium. Miss Rabbit sells them tickets. The fish can go in for free, she says. Enjoy your visit. The first room has many little fish. Could one of these fish be Goldie's new friend? Asked Daddy Pig.
No, says Peppa. They are too small.
Peppa's friend, Candy Cat, is in the next room with her family.
Hello, Candy, says Peppa. We are finding a friend for Goldie.
The fish in this room look like little dinosaurs.
Dinosaur,
Says George.
These aren't dinosaurs, says Candy. They are called seahorses.
Wow.
Could a seahorse be Goldie's friend?
Candy asks.
No, says Peppa. They are too dinosaur-y.
Everyone goes to the next room. The tank in here has a very strange fish. Wow, says Daddy Pig. This fish looks like a big eye. It is a big eye on a very big fish.
Maybe this one could be Goldie's new friend,
Says Mummy Pig.
No, says Peppa. It is too big.
There is only one room left to visit. But there are no fish in this tank. There's only green slime. Oh, and Miss Rabbit is in the tank too. She is cleaning it. The last stop is the cafe.
We did not find a friend for Goldie,
Peppa says sadly. Then Peppa notices a bowl on the counter.
What is that?
Peppa asks.
That is my pet goldfish, Ginger,
Says Miss Rabbit. Goldie likes Ginger. Ginger likes Goldie.
Goldie can visit Ginger any time she wants,
Says Miss Rabbit.
Hooray!
Goldie has made a friend at the aquarium after all. The end. Peppa Pig, George's new dinosaur. George's favourite toy is Mr. Dinosaur. George likes bouncing Mr. Dinosaur in the garden, playing with him at bath time, and he loves going to sleep with Mr. Dinosaur beside him. At bedtime, Peppa says,
George, I think Mr. Dinosaur is broken.
George is very upset. Mummy and Daddy Pig come in to see why George is crying. Cries George. Poor George, says Daddy Pig. Maybe it's time we got you a new dinosaur. The next day, Peppa, George, Mummy and Daddy Pig visit Mr. Fox's shop. I'm sure we'll find a lovely dinosaur here, George, says Mummy Pig. Look, George, says Daddy Pig, pointing to the shop window. There's a big one.
Oh, dinosaur,
says George. Good morning, beams Mr. Fox. Can I help you? We'd like to buy the dinosaur in the window, please, says Daddy Pig. Good choice, says Mr. Fox. This is Dino Raw. He walks, he talks, and he sings. Wow, says everyone.
Dino Roar,
Says George excitedly. We'll take it, says Daddy Pig. George is playing with Dino Roar in the garden. Dino Roar sings, Dino Roar, listen to Dino Roar, roar! Careful, George, says Daddy Pig. Don't play too roughly because Dino Roar will get broken. George wants to play with Dino Roar in the bath.
Dino Roar,
says George. But Mummy Pig says, George, if you get Dino Roar wet, he'll stop working. Peppa and George are asleep in bed, but suddenly Dino Roar comes to life. Roar! Dino Roar! Dino Roar! George, says Peppa, Dino Roar has woken me up. Maybe Dino Roar should sleep somewhere else, says Daddy Pig, taking Dino Roar away. George is feeling sad. He cannot play with Dino Roar in the garden, or the bath, or even in bed. Never mind, George, says Mummy Pig brightly. Dino Roar can still roar. Dino Roar, listen to Dino Roar. Dino Roar stops walking and talking completely. I think the batteries must have run out, says Mummy Pig. Already? How many are there? Grumbles Daddy Pig as batteries pour out of Dino Roar.
hundreds and thousands,
cries Peppa as she picks him up. Peppa spots something green under a bush.
What's this?
Says Peppa.
Is it a trumpet?
You found Mr. Dinosaur's tail, says Mummy Pig. Now Daddy Pig can mend him. He might be a bit difficult to mend, says Daddy Pig doubtfully. But the tail slips perfectly into place. Daddy Pig has mended Mr. Dinosaur. Ho, 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 chuckles Daddy Pig.
Hello, Mr. Dinosaur,
Says Peppa. Arr, replies George. Everybody laughs. Mr. Dinosaur is George's favourite toy in the whole world. The end. George's woolly hat. Peppa and George are spending the day at Granny and Grandpa Pig's house.
Hooray!
George is wearing a new woolly hat.
Wow!
Don't get your new hat muddy, George, says Mummy Pig. We promise not to get George's hat muddy, says Grandpa Pig. Peppa and George are playing in the garden. It is a very windy day. Hold on to your hat, says Peppa. Wah! Cries George as his hat sails up into the sky. Catch it, George, shouts Peppa. George chases his woolly hat right through the mud. George, you are all muddy, cries Peppa. But George's hat is still clean. The wind blows his woolly hat across the garden. Oh no! George's woolly hat is caught in a tree. I'll get it down for you, says Peppa. Grandpa Pig and George watch as Peppa climbs up the tree. Perhaps I should help, says Grandpa Pig. Oops, cries Peppa. Poor Peppa has fallen from the tree and landed in the mud. I see two little piggies who need a bath, says Grandpa Pig. Next time, George's hat blows onto some reeds in the pond. Luckily, your hat is still clean, George, says Grandpa Pig. He grabs a stick and reaches across the pond. Don't fall in, says Peppa. I know what I'm doing, Peppa, replies Grandpa Pig. Splash! Grandpa Pig falls into the pond. That was a silly thing to do, says Granny Pig.
We were trying to get George's hat back, Granny, says Peppa. Where is George's woolly hat now? asks Granny Pig.
Granny Pig spots the hat.
Hooray!
It has landed on a spade, on a pile of stinky manure.
If you walk on that manure, you'll sink,
warns Grandpa Pig.
Hush, Grandpa Pig. I have no intention of sinking,
says Granny Pig, laughing. Carefully, Granny Pig climbs over the manure until she reaches the woolly hat.
Got it,
she cheers, but then Granny Pig falls over and lands in the heap of stinky manure.
Ooh, smelly, Granny,
says Peppa. Grandpa Pig, Peppa and George start to giggle. Mummy Pig arrives to collect Peppa and George.
You promised not to let the children get muddy,
cries Mummy Pig.
Yeah, actually, we promised not to let George's hat get muddy,
says Grandpa Pig.
George's hat is the only clean thing,
says Mummy Pig. The end. Peppa Pig numbers. Peppa and her friends are at playgroup.
Today we will be learning all about numbers,
says Madame Gazelle.
Does anybody know what numbers are used for? We use numbers to count,
says Peppa.
That's very good, Peppa,
says Madame Gazelle.
Numbers are used for counting. Now, who would like to try some counting?
Pedro Pony counts to 4. Rebecca Rabbit counts all the way to 7.
Excellent, Pedro and Rebecca. After 7 comes 8, 9 and 10,
says Madame Gazelle.
Wow!
It is playtime. Rebecca, Zoe Zebra, Susie Sheep and Peppa all like to skip.
I like sand, I like sea, I like Susie to skip with me,
sings Peppa.
I like pink, I like pong, I like Zoe to skip along,
sings Susie.
Let's see who can skip the longest without stopping,
says Zoe.
I'll count,
says Rebecca.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Peppa is out. 6, 7, 8. Susie is out. 9, 10. Zoe is the winner.
Hooray!
Pedro is hula hooping.
I can do 1,000,003 hula hoops without stopping,
says Pedro.
Wow!
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
He has stopped hula hooping.
I'm a bit tired,
says Pedro.
I'll do the rest later.
Emily Elephant has a special way of hula hooping. She hula hoops with her trunk. The hoop spins round and round and round.
It is too fast to count. I think that was about 100,
says Susie. George wants to play leapfrog.
Leapfrog, everybody,
cries Peppa. Richard Rabbit, Edmund Elephant, Susie Rebecca, Peppa Emily, Candy Cat, Danny Dog, Zoe and Pedro line up. There are 10 children for George to jump over. George begins to jump and everyone counts along. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. George has jumped over everyone.
Hooray!
George is very good at playing leapfrog. Now playtime is over and the children must return to the classroom. Daddy Pig has come to collect Peppa and George. He is very early, but Madame Gazelle doesn't mind. "Don't worry, you can join in our game," she says. "Richard and Edmund, please get the extra long skipping rope." "Is everybody ready? Let's count to 10, says Madame Gazelle. 1, Daddy Pig is skipping. 2, now Peppa is skipping too. 3, Susie joins them. Madame Gazelle plays her guitar as the children join in one by one. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Count Daddy Pig and the children. It is much easier to count to 10 if you are playing a game at the same time. The end. Peppa Pig, happy holidays. Mummy Pig is packing to go on holiday. She doesn't want to forget anything important. Some holidays are far away. It can be tricky to find your way around. There is always lots to do on holiday. Peppa likes sightseeing.
Wow!
Pizza!
Daddy Pig likes trying new foods. And George likes sleeping in interesting places. The end. Peppa Pig. Peppa's Christmas Jumper Day. Daddy Pig is getting Peppa and George ready for bed.
Daddy,
Says Peppa, splashing about in the bath.
where are our jumpers?
Which jumpers? Asks Daddy Pig.
Our Christmas jumpers,
Replies Peppa.
It's Christmas Jumper Day tomorrow at Playgroup.
Oh, says Daddy Pig. Peppa and George brush their teeth, then Daddy Pig heads up into the loft to find all the Christmas things. Here we are, says Daddy Pig, holding a huge box. Yay! Cheer Peppa and George. They find their Christmas jumpers, but...
Daddy,
says Peppa.
mine is too small.
Squeaks George, trying to squeeze into his jumper. Says Daddy Pig, thinking. George, why don't you try on Peppa's jumper? And Peppa, you can try on mine. Peppa's jumper fits George perfectly, but Daddy Pig's jumper doesn't fit Peppa.
It's too big,
Says Peppa.
and it doesn't have any sparkly bits.
Says Daddy Pig. It's your bedtime now, but we'll sort something out in the morning. In the morning, Peppa, George, Mammy and Daddy Pig all have breakfast together. Right, says Daddy Pig, after everyone has finished eating. Time for playgroup.
What about my Christmas jumper, Daddy?
Asked Peppa.
You haven't forgotten, have you?
Of course not. Daddy Pig winks and hurries to get the Christmas box. Mammy Pig helps George get ready. Peppa puts on a normal jumper and stands still as Daddy ties baubles to it.
I really wanted one with sparkly bits, Daddy,
says Peppa. No problem, says Daddy Pig, as he finds some sparkly baubles to add to the jumper. Soon Peppa looks just like a Christmas tree. At the bottom of the box, Daddy Pig finds a big pot of glitter and sprinkles it all over Peppa. Ta-da, says Daddy Pig, admiring his work. One Christmas jumper with sparkly bits. Now let's go, or we'll be late. Daddy Pig, Peppa and George say goodbye to Mummy Pig and race out the door of the playgroup. What a fantastic Christmas jumper, says Madame Gazelle when Peppa arrives.
You're so sparkly,
cries Susie Sheep. Everyone at playgroup loves Peppa's Christmas jumper.
This is the best Christmas jumper day ever, says Peppa. Thank you, Daddy.
You're welcome, Peppa, says Daddy Pig, wiping the glitter off his worksuit. Happy Christmas Jumper Day. The end. Peppa's Christmas Post. It was nearly Christmas Eve, and Peppa and George were feeling very Christmassy.
Let's post our letters to Santa,
said Peppa.
Yippee!
Cheered George. Peppa, George, Mummy and Daddy Pig put on their boots and headed out into the snow to the post box. On the way home from the post box, Daddy Pig did his Christmas dance. Oh, it's a bit slippery, he cried, falling on his bottom with a bump. Oh, Daddy Pig, said Mummy, holding out her hand to help him up, but then she slipped over too. Mummy and Daddy Pig were covered in snow. Dr. Brown Bear came to see if they were okay. You're going to be fine, he said. But you both had a bit of a bump, so you must rest until Christmas Day. Oh no, sighed Daddy Pig. Everybody went to stay at Granny and Grandpa Pig's house so Mummy and Daddy could stay in bed.
I know how we can cheer up Mummy and Daddy,
Peppa whispered to George.
Let's get everything ready for Christmas ourselves.
So with a little help from Granny and Grandpa Pig, Peppa and George started making Christmas cards and advent calendars for everyone they knew. After Peppa and George posted everything they had made, it was time to make the Christmas pudding.
Mummy and Daddy will love this,
said Peppa, stirring the sticky mixture.
That looks perfect, little ones,
said Granny Pig.
Let's steam it, and then I have something to show you.
Granny Pig found an envelope in a drawer and passed it to Peppa and George.
Take a look inside,
she said.
Ooh, said Peppa. Thank you, Granny.
Inside the envelope was a little book of festive treats. Peppa and George made all of the recipes inside it, and a lot of mess.
Something smells delicious, said Grandpa Pig, his tummy rumbling. They're not for now, Grandpa, explained Peppa. They're for Christmas Day. I see, replied Grandpa Pig. Well then, I can't wait for Christmas Day. What's in that great big box, Grandpa? Asked Peppa. Christmas decorations, said Grandpa Pig. Hooray! Let's decorate the Christmas tree, cheered Peppa. Peppa and George covered the whole house with Grandpa Pig's decorations. Mummy and Daddy are going to be very surprised when they come downstairs on Christmas Day, said Peppa. Then she and George sat down with Granny Pig. They wanted to write an extra special letter to Santa. Peppa, George, Granny and Grandpa Pig put on their boots and headed out into the snow to post their special letter. I hope Santa gets it in time, said Peppa, lifting George up so he could post the letter. I am sure he will, Peppa, said Grandpa Pig. Come on, let's head back home. That night, at the North Pole, Santa Claus received Peppa and George's special letter. Ho, 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 he laughed. Christmas stickers, how lovely. Then he got out his pen and paper and wrote an extra special reply. The next morning was Christmas Eve, and there was a letter waiting for Peppa and George by the front door. Someone's written us a letter, George, said Peppa, jumping up and down. Santa, cheered George. Don't be silly, George, replied Peppa. Santa doesn't write letters. He's too busy making toys. Dear Peppa and George Pig, thank you so much for your letter and wonderful present. I have put your Christmas stickers all over my grotto. Of course I can deliver presents for your mummy and daddy. Make sure you go to bed nice and early on Christmas Eve, and there will be an extra special surprise for you both on Christmas Day. Love from Santa Claus. At bedtime on Christmas Eve, Peppa and George were soon tucked up in their little bed at Granny and Grandpa's house. We have to go to sleep early like Santa said in his letter, whispered Peppa. I wonder what his surprise will be. Santa, whispered George as he closed his eyes. Soon they were both fast asleep. Mommy, Daddy! Cheers Peppa and George very early the next morning. It's Christmas Day! What? Mumbled Daddy Pig, waking up. It's Christmas Day! Repeated Peppa. Dr. Brown Bear said you can get out of bed now. We have lots of surprises for you. But there was a surprise waiting for everyone in the living room. Santa! cried Peppa and George. Santa! cried Daddy Pig, doing his special Christmas dance very carefully, this time, and managing not to fall over. Surprise, said Santa. I thought I'd pop in and see two little piggies who have been very helpful this Christmas. Hooray! Cheered Peppa and George. Santa gave presents to Mummy and Daddy Pig and to Granny and Grandpa Pig. Then he turned to Peppa and George and gave them the doll and the racing car they had asked for. Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas! He chuckled as he waved goodbye. Now remember to write your thank you letters. I love getting post. That night, Peppa and George were back at home and tucked up in their own beds.
I love getting post too, Santa,
whispered Peppa, looking at his letter on her bedroom wall.
especially from you.
The end.
Peppa Pig, Rebecca Rabbit. This is Peppa's friend, Rebecca Rabbit. Rebecca is very good at swimming. Paddle your arms, says Rebecca. And kick your legs, says Peppa. Rebecca's house is called a burrow. It is underground. Where are your stairs? asked Peppa. We don't have stairs, says Rebecca. We have tunnels instead.
Wow.
Rebecca has a big family. There's her mummy, her daddy, and her little brother Richard. And here are the baby twins, says Rebecca. Peppa nods. Hello, Robbie and Rosie. Rebecca and Peppa go to the petting farm together. They like to stroke the tiny animals. Look at their cute little faces, cries Rebecca. And their fluffy little bodies, says Peppa. Peppa has lots of fun with her friend Rebecca. Sometimes she pretends to be a rabbit too. All she has to do is twitch her nose and squeak. Peppa loves Rebecca Rabbit. Everyone loves Rebecca Rabbit. The Peppa Pig, Freddy Fox. This is Peppa's friend, Freddy Fox. Freddy likes playing pretend.
Wow.
I'm a policeman, says Freddy. And you're under arrest. Snorts Peppa. What a funny game. Freddy is very musical. He can play the triangle. I can play the guitar, says Peppa. Let's play together, says Madame Gazelle. Freddy is very good at smelling. He has a super nose. What do I smell of, Freddy? Freddy sniffs. Flowers and muddy puddles. Peppa and Freddy like going to new places. They even have fun at the supermarket. It's a fruit day, says Miss Rabbit. Who would like a smoothie? Me, please, shouts Freddy. And Peppa. Peppa has lots of fun with her friend Freddy. Inside Mr. Fox's van, there is a treat for Freddy. And one for his good friend Peppa.
Hooray!
Peppa loves Freddy Fox. Everyone loves Freddy Fox. The end. Peppa Pig, Peppa's Royal Party. Peppa and her family were very excited when Mr. Zebra, the postman, arrived with a special letter. This is for you, Mummy Pig, he said. It has a crown on it. I think it must be from the Queen.
Wow.
Mummy Pig opened the envelope very carefully. What does it say? Cried Peppa. It's an invitation, said Mummy Pig. The Queen is giving me an award for the book I wrote.
Wow.
She has invited us and her friends to her Platinum Jubilee garden party.
Hooray!
Oh, goody, said Peppa. What's a Platinum Jubilee party? It's a special party to celebrate the Queen having been Queen for 70 years, explained Daddy Pig. Wow, gasped Peppa. She must be nearly as old as you, Daddy. Daddy Pig chuckled. Almost, he said. Peppa phoned her friends to invite them to the Queen's party. There will be lots of guests, Peppa told Rebecca Rabbit.
Wow.
I'll ask my mummy to pack a giant picnic, said Rebecca. The Queen has a big garden, Peppa told Susie Sheep. We should take some games to play. Yippee! cried Susie. I'll do that. What should I wear? asked Danny Dog. Your smartest clothes, said Peppa, and bring boots for jumping in puddles. I know just what to pack, said Freddy Fox. The Queen sent a big red bus to take everyone to the palace. Are you sure we need all these bags? asked Danny Pig. You can't turn up to a royal party without bringing anything, said Mummy Pig. That'd be very rude. Oh, very true, said Daddy Pig. We wouldn't want to be rude. Peppa and her friends made up a song on their way to the palace. They sang it very loudly. It's the royal party today, let's sing all the way. It's the royal party today, hip hip hooray. As the bus got closer to the palace, there were lots of people setting up their own garden parties for the Queen's Jubilee. Peppa and her friends tried to do special little royal waves. Lots of people are celebrating with the Queen today, said Daddy Pig. When they arrived at the palace, everyone was very excited. I think there will be a giant chocolate fountain, whispered Susie. 70 giant chocolate fountains, said Freddy. I think she will have an enormous gold cake, whispered Peppa. 70 enormous gold cakes, said Freddy. The doors opened and they were led out to the palace gardens. They were surprised to see no food or drinks or games. Hello there, said the Queen. Thank you for coming. I'm afraid we had a slight hiccup. Sorry to hear you have hiccups, Your Majesty, said Peppa. No, I'm quite all right, replied the Queen. It's my party planner. He got the date muddled up. He thought the Jubilee was tomorrow, so we cannot have my party today.
Oh no!
Everyone gasped. But you must have your party, Your Majesty, said Peppa. Must I? asked the Queen. Oh yes, said Peppa. The whole country is waiting to celebrate with you. I'm not sure I can, said the Queen. I don't have any party things. We've brought some with us. What do you need? asked Peppa. That's very kind, but we need an awful lot, said the Queen. Food for all the guests. My mummy sent this picnic for everyone, said Rebecca, unpacking a giant picnic with plates of cakes, sandwiches and jellies. My dad packed these teapots and chairs, said Freddy. "They're made of real fake gold." "This picnic looks wonderful," said the Queen. "But what will we do other than eat and drink? I don't have any games." "I have these, your Majesty," said Susie, who had 3 big boxes of garden games.
Wow.
"Will they be okay?" "What fun," said the Queen. "Yes, they will do quite nicely." Peppa and her friends pulled out balloons, bunting, and even a music box from their bags. Soon the garden was transformed into a royal party fit for a queen. "How extraordinary," said the Queen. "You have brought everything one needs for a royal party." "You could say we pulled it out of the bag, ma'am," said Daddy Pig. When the other guests started to arrive, they were very impressed. "It looks wonderful," they said. "This is the best Jubilee ever." The Queen presented Mummy Pig with her award. Then everyone tucked into the picnic. But as they finished eating... "Oh no!" gasped the Queen. "I believe it's raining. Whatever shall we do?" "Don't worry," said Peppa. "I've got an idea." Peppa whipped out a pair of boots with a crown on them and pointed at a muddy puddle. "I brought a spare pair of boots for you, your Majesty." "How delightful, Peppa," said the Queen. "I dare say a royal party is not a royal party without some muddy puddle jumping." "3 cheers for the Queen and Peppa," everyone cried. That evening, everyone sat down to watch the Queen make a speech. "I would like to thank Peppapig," said the Queen. "Without her help, my Platinum Jubilee would not have gone ahead. I am giving her the Queen's Award for Royal Party Planning." "One does love a royal party," said Mummy Pig. Everyone loves a royal party. The end. Peppa the Easter Bunny. Peppa is painting a picture of the Easter Bunny with some yummy chocolate eggs.
Let's have a surprise Easter egg hunt, George,
She cries.
We can hide the eggs in the garden, then our friends can come and look for them. Yippee!
Cheers, George. Mummy and Daddy Pig help Peppa and George decorate Easter eggs and hide them in the garden. "You're just like the Easter Bunny, Peppa," says Mummy Pig. Peppa giggles.
I am the Easter Bunny,
She says, hopping around like a bunny rabbit.
Daddy,
Says Peppa when they finish hiding the eggs.
can I surprise my friends and dress up as the Easter Bunny?
Jeep jeep, asked George. Says Daddy Pig, thinking. Let's see what we can find in the dressing up box. In no time, Peppa is dressed as the Easter Bunny and George is dressed as a chick.
Wow.
Perfect, says Daddy Pig proudly. Your friends will be here soon, says Mummy Pig. I'll help you hide so you can surprise them. Just then, the doorbell rings. Daddy Pig answers the door. It's Peppa's friends.
We're here for Peppa and Georgie's surprise Easter egg hunt,
says Danny Dog excitedly. Splendid. This way, please, says Daddy Pig, leading them to the garden. Ready, steady, hop, shouts Daddy Pig. Peppa's friends set off hopping, skipping and running around the garden, looking for eggs.
Found one,
says Susie Sheep.
Me too,
says Danny.
This is the best Easter egg hunt ever,
Cries Candy Cat.
We've all found an egg,
Says Susie.
but where are Peppa and George?
The children hear a tap, tap, tap noise coming from behind a bush.
Look,
Gasped Pedro Pony.
there are 2 giant Easter eggs left.
The children run over as the giant eggs begin to crack. Tap, 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 tap. And out jump Peppa and George.
Surprise!
Says Peppa.
Peppa the Easter Bunny!
Gasped the children.
And George the chick! Did you like our surprise Easter egg hunt?
Asked Peppa.
Yes!
Everyone cheers. Everyone loves the Easter egg hunt. Everyone loves Peppa the Easter Bunny and George the chick. The end. Peppa the Pirate. Peppa and her friends are at Danny Dog's house. They are playing pirates. Yo ho ho, shouts Pirate Peppa. Hello, says Pedro Pony. Yee-haw! Peppa smiles. Pedro has come dressed as a cowboy. Grandad Dog arrives. He is in charge of the pirates today. Ahoy there, me hearties, he shouts. If you want to play a game, say Arr! Arr! Say the children. Grandad Dog claps his hands. It's time for a pirate treasure hunt. Grandpa Pig has taken my treasure, says Grandad Dog. Will you help me get it back again? Yes, shout Peppa and her friends.
Hooray!
The pirates are on their way. To win the game, they must go to Grandpa Pig's hideout and get the golden treasure without being caught. The pirates run down to Grandad Dog's boat. They put on their life jackets and climb aboard. Anchors away! Shouts Grandad Dog. Full sail!
Aye aye!
Reply Peppa and her friends. The pirates sail across the water to Grandpa Pig's orchard.
Wow!
Land ahoy! Cries Grandad Dog. The mummies are waiting to greet them. Hooray for pirates! Cheers Mrs. Dog. Shh, mummy, whispers Danny. Grandpa Pig will hear you. The pirates sneak into the orchard. They stay very, very quiet. I hope there are no pirates around here, says Grandpa Pig, trying to take my lovely treasure. Danny tries not to giggle. Peppa and Susie Sheep tiptoe up to some treasure. They get it down without being caught. Susie unwraps the first golden coin. It's made of chocolate, she gasps. Yum, says Peppa. Peppa and her friends get all the chocolate coins without being caught.
Hooray!
Well done, shipmates, says Grandad Dog. I love playing pirates, says Peppa. Arr! Oh, jolly pirates are we, that sail the deep blue sea, to find the golden treasure, we'll say ahoy yippee. The end. Peppa Pig, Fix It Daddy Pig. The toy is broken. Daddy Pig will fix it. The wall is broken.
Oh no!
Daddy Pig will fix it. The car is broken. Daddy Pig will fix it.
Hooray!
The screen is broken. Daddy Pig will fix it. The clock is broken. Daddy Pig will fix it. The kite is stuck. Daddy Pig will fix it. Look at that mud. Daddy Pig will fix it.
Hooray!
Hooray for Daddy. He is the Fix-It Pig. The end.
Hi kids, did you have fun watching this video? Then like and subscribe for more.
Peppa Pig. Peppa and Susie's argument. Peppa and her best friend Susie Sheep are playing Snap.
I win again.
Says Susie. Peppa isn't happy.
You cheated.
She shouts.
You looked at the card. I did not.
Cries Susie.
I don't want to play with you anymore.
Says Peppa.
I don't want to play with you anymore.
Says Susie. Peppa and Susie have had an argument. They are not best friends anymore. Mummy Sheep arrives to take Susie home. Peppa, say goodbye to Susie, says Mummy Pig.
I'm not talking to her.
Says Peppa.
And I'm not talking to her.
Says Susie. I'm sure they'll make up. They are best friends, really, says Mummy Pig.
We are not best friends anymore,
says Peppa. The next day is lovely and sunny. All the children are at the playground. Everyone is playing with their best friend. Everyone except Peppa and Susie. Susie is on the swing, on her own. She feels sad. Peppa is playing mini-golf on her own. She feels sad. Emily Elephant comes over.
Please, can I have a go?
Asks Emily.
Yes,
Says Peppa.
you can be my best friend. But my best friend is Candy Cat.
Says Emily. Susie watches Zoe Zebra play on the slide.
Zoe, if you want, you can be my best friend.
Says Susie.
But my best friend is Rebecca Rabbit.
Says Zoe. Zoe and Rebecca skip off together. Susie is alone again. Then Peppa and Susie see each other.
Hello, Susie.
Says Peppa.
Hello, Peppa.
Says Susie. I think it's time you two made up. says Daddy Pig.
Only if Susie says sorry first. Only if Peppa says sorry first,
says Susie. I'll count to 3, and you can both say sorry at the same time, suggests Daddy Pig. 1, 2, 3.
Sorry,
say Peppa and Susie together. Now you can be best friends again, says Daddy Pig.
Susie, let's play mini golf,
says Peppa.
Wow.
good idea.
Says Susie. Peppa goes first. Her ball stops near the hole. Susie goes next. Her ball knocks Peppa's ball into the hole.
I win,
says Peppa.
no, I win,
Says Susie.
but my ball knocked it in, so I win.
Says Susie. Peppa and Susie are having an argument again.
Oh no!
Ho ho! You two are just the same, says Daddy Pig. Peppa and Susie laugh too. They realise he is right.
That's why Susie is my best friend in the whole world,
Says Peppa.
and Peppa is my best friend in the whole world.
Says Susie. Everyone is happy that Peppa and Susie are friends again. The end.
Hi kids, did you have fun watching this video? Then like and subscribe for more.